Why is no one really talking about No More Room in Hell 2? The game is being created by Torn Banner Studios that also helped develop the game Chivalry. I didn't play Chivalry, but the game melee combat looked pretty solid. No More Room in Hell 1 is still being played on Steam. Look at these numbers. So it does still have an audience, but the second game is not seeing as much traction as I would think for a game that's due for an early access release that's supposed to come in October. Everybody thinking Halloween of 2024 this year. Let's talk about the game a little bit. The game is an 8-player co-op, but when the game starts, you're not starting with your team, which I think is a very unique concept in the game. It gives you the feel of Resident Evil, then you get the relief of finding more people as you start to wander around the map. It's a survival game, so therefore you have to loot and find things you can fight with. In the beginning, the developer said it'd be like knives and melee weapons, but as you progress along, you will find guns that help you fight better. So I'm so used to playing asymmetrical horror games where there's a player versus player concept, and I kind of just fell into it because of YouTube. Well, this game is not PvP, and a lot of survival horror games such as Back 4 Blood, for example, start you off with your team, and then you push forward together through the horde of zombies. But No More Room in Hell 2 don't give you that relief. I'm not sure how far apart the people will spawn from one another because the map is supposed to be fairly huge, and the zombies in the game is very aware, so being loud will bring you heat that you don't want. Get this, the objective in the game pertains to getting certain areas to activate, and that includes turning on the lights, so other team members will know your location. I think the most messed up thing about it is that a person do not have to come, and they can decide to go do their own thing, or they can choose not to work with you once you do meet up, which it'd be interesting to see how that play into the game. I watched some old gameplay from No More Room in Hell 1, and it looked like the map was more tight-knit, with this map being larger with the freedom to attack different objectives away from your team gives you game more of a fun dynamic. Because just imagine being outnumbered by zombies held up in a building like this, and your team members burst out of nowhere. Can't tell me that's not super cool. Another cool thing about the game is that if you wander off and die, then there's no respawn for you. I guess some people be pissed about it, but I think it's very cool. The game is over for you, and your team is one man down, progressing through the mission. It reminds me of a Walking Dead type of concept. Never watched Walking Dead. Moving on. But your team members can loot your body, so that's a plus. You can believe in the beginning, you will most likely die before reaching the main objective. And then you will have to start a new game, which probably can be frustrating. But the good thing is, there will be multiple builds in the game to make your character the way you want. Hopefully, they don't go to a Back 4 Blood route and use a card system game to build perks, because that did not go over well with the community. A bad thing that I thought of that I can't get over, and reminds me of another game when it comes to the game graphics, to be specific, The Day Before. But that game was abandoned after having a troubling release, and they actually had to start giving out refunds. I don't see Torn Banner Studios having a problem like that. Lever Games, the creators of No More Room in Hell 1, was acquired by Torn Studios, so there could be some difference from the No More Room in Hell 1. And I was reading in the comment section of the trailer that I was watching for it, he was writing the game off to die that quick just from that trailer that we was watching. If Torn Banner Studios rushed this game to release, it could be a flop, since the game is going a new direction, and the gamers that played the first one may not grasp the concept of the second one or might not like it. The other concern will be servers and potential dropped connections, or even loading in the game could be a hassle. If these problems rear their ugly head, then the game could be in trouble. The game environment is really detailed. I just hope that the amount of detail that was put into the environment do not take away from the overall game experience. So far, I think it's a decent game, and the devs are ecstatic to get it out to us. Again, early access will be coming in October, so I'm not expecting a perfect game at that time, but has to convince the No More Room in Hell 1 community that the second one will be worth it. Remember to subscribe to keep up with No More Room in Hell 2 as the game develops, and welcome to Mr. Unleashed World.